To many Des Moines residents, the occupiers are perceived as homeless bums and hippie punks who need to take a bath and get a job, as stated by Republican presidential candidate Newt Gingrich. The best way to find out the truth is to pay them a visit and hear their views on the matter, which is what I decided to do. The Occupy Wall Street movement sparked the flame in other areas around the country, starting other movements such as Occupy Des Moines. I'd visited the camp in Stewart Square, located on the corner of East 14th and Grand Avenue. Here the occupiers have set up tents and hoop barns, where anyone is welcome to come and participate in their weekly assembly meeting held at 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 2 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Surrounding the assembly tent are others, marked kitchen, first aid, and dining room. The occupiers do have a permit to stay at the park, which allows them to use the electricity, but it also states that they are in charge of their own waste removal, and the right to up to 30 tents and 300 people. In the beginning, there were over 50 protesters, and now it's slowly depleted due to weather conditions. While at the camp, I had a chance to interview one of the protesters, Joe Vandera, who has been with the protests since the beginning.
I believe they moved the camp here about October 17th. And I've been here ever since. Actually, it's the 14th, I think. Because they used to be on the west side of the state capitol there. And what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, governor kicked the group off the state land because it says Occupy Des Moines. Now, if it was Occupy Des Moines / Iowa, then the group would still be there. That's my understanding. You could seek that answer out too.
During the interview, Joe explained to me that the weather has taken a toll on him and all the other protesters in Stewart Square.
My feet's suffered minor frostbite just because I got holes in my shoes. It rained, socks soak up the water. That's the reason for that. Other than that, volunteers have been coming in, donating numerous hand warmers, toe warmers. So if any of Roosevelt High School parents can help support that as well, it'd be great.
The protesters' main goal is to bring awareness and eventually an end to greedy corporations and politicians that own most of the nation's wealth. They have band together, and their movement relies heavily on strength within the community. So if you can donate anything at all, it would help the cause.
They're actually going to stay here as long as our voice has been heard. They quit listening to the 1% in Congress. The President, Obama, has been trying to implement different programs to help and benefit, whether it be the poor class, middle class, to get their incomes back up, to stop the fraudulent foreclosures.
Keeping the park clean has been left up to the protesters, so there's been no cost to the Parks Department currently. As long as they continue to obey the park's wishes, the protesters plan to keep up the fight until their voices are heard. As I was leaving the camp, Joe told me there was a protest outside the GOP debate, so I decided to go down and check it out. There, I interviewed a protester dressed as Mitt Romney. What's the reasoning? What's driving you?
Well, I think that the electoral process is sort of a sham, and I'm here to take a jab at Mitt Romney in particular. One of Mitt Romney's policies that I was highlighting tonight is, or one of the things that he'd like to do if he becomes president, is doubling the size of Guantanamo, even though less than 1% of the people that have been held there have been convicted of anything in the last 10 years of its existence. I've been doing a weekly protest in West Des Moines against torture, and one of my friends asked me to come down and videotape, because I regularly videotape at the vigil in West Des Moines against torture. So I came downtown and was videotaping, and the police maced a 10-year Air Force vet in the face, and I was asking if he was okay and filming him, and a state trooper asked me to back up, off the sidewalk where I was standing and motioned me into the park, which was closed. And once he had gotten me into the park, he then arrested me for trespassing as well as interference and tried to confiscate my camera, which had the footage on it of the Air Force veteran who had been maced. And fortunately, another occupier ran up and grabbed the camera out of the policeman's hands, so we still have the video footage. That's how I became involved. That was my first night.
So now, the occupiers have continued to peacefully protest and will continue to protest until the people are heard and someone helps fix this problem of the 1% versus the 99. But how long will this take, and how much more are the protesters willing to take?
Well, yeah, how else? Showing up for a Republican debate, how else could you dress? You either give a bunch of money because they're a bunch of prostitutes, or, or you just, dress like one of the two. You could have a lot of money, I suppose. You could be General Electric and they allow you not to pay taxes.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is a blow in the